Sagittarius, welcome to Universal Guidance Tarot. It's time for your weekly reading. I'm shuffling these angel cards because I'm going to pull an angel card before we do the actual tarot reading to get some advice from your guardian angels and spirit guides. Oh, I'm just about done shuffling before we pull you out a card. Okay, here we go. Let's find out what your guardian angels and spirit guides have to say about this reading coming up. For Sagittarius, we have the 10 of thought. So I'm going to read this to you. A situation that's been troubling you has come to an end, and you can breathe a sigh of relief. With the challenging times behind you, you can now move on. It's important to fully let go at this juncture. Someone in your life may now finally be free of his or her addictions or codependency issues. Wow, things are changing. That's what it sounds like. Things are getting better. Things are looking up. Now, I'm going to shuffle these tarot cards here a few more times. If one falls out, it goes back in the deck until I'm ready to take them. I just want you to know. And then I will let them fly out. They are so slippery that it's hard not to get them to fly out even when I don't want them to. Okay, one more little. Okay, so Sagittarius, let's cut these cards. I feel like cutting them this week, and that's what I'm going to do. Sagittarius. Okay, here we go. What does Sagittarius need to know? What's coming in? What's leaving Sagittarius's life? And any advice, please, guardian angels, please, universe. What is coming into Sagittarius's life? What do they need to know? What is leaving their life? And advice. Advice is so important. One flipped over. Advice. Sagittarius, please. Okay, see what we have here. I put the cards down in the same order that they come out of the deck. This is a general reading. It's not going to resonate with everyone. You can take from the reading what does resonate. You might even want a private reading. If you want a private reading, get one from someone you trust. I actually do private readings. If you just click the description box below the video and send me an email, we can get started. So we have some cards left towards the second part of the reading. Okay, Sagittarius. Wow, the overall energy is the Seven of Swords. What's going on here? You have some deceitful energy around you. Do you already know about it? Huh. If not, you do now, if this is your reading. I have the Six of Wands up in your highest energy. This is the card for success in love. So, you know, this is a very, it's a beautiful card. All those wands coming up in the background are people celebrating your love for someone. That wreath there, that can signify engagement. This is a very celebratory, loving card for success in love. Well, these are the two strongest energies I have here in your reading. Let's find out why. Sheesh. I have the Page of Wands next to the Six of Wands and right above the Seven of Swords. There's something that needs to be said, and I think it's brewing in you because this is on your top line. So the Page of Wands, it's like it brews from the bottom of your feet and it works its way up until it finally comes out your mouth. And it has to do with a fresh start, new beginning. It has to do with moving forward with this person. Maybe you suspect something. Maybe this is only a suspicion that you need to talk about. I have the Empress next to the Page of Wands. This is for Libra or Taurus. One of those might be strong in your chart or around this reading. But, you know, the Empress, male or female, they're all male or female. The Empress is a beautiful soul, okay? This is you. You are kind and thoughtful, considerate, loving, forgiving, giving. I mean, I could go on and on. If you're a parent, you're a really good parent. So, you know, whoever you decide to move forward with, and that's probably why it's next to the Page of Wands, they must have a lot of those same qualities, or it will not last, because it's like trying to mix oil with water. It doesn't work. So it's a beautiful card. You have beautiful energy, and you want to try to make sure that whatever you need to talk about, you do talk about before moving any further with somebody here. Okay? I have the Judgment card under the Six of Wands and next to the Seven of Swords. Here's your guardian angels and spirit guides. They've been blowing this horn down on you, and you know what? You're awakening to a spiritual lesson. Look at that. Look at all these people. They hear it. They hear the horn. They get it. So you are understanding some type of spiritual lesson, and they are very difficult to get through. It has to do with the Seven of Swords energy. You may have had the Seven of Swords energy in your life before, and you learned a spiritual lesson, and you want to make sure you don't get yourself into that spiritual lesson once again. And that might be what you're speaking up about, and that's kind of how it feels like it's going here. I have the Four of Swords next to the Seven of Swords and under the Empress, or Four Cups under this Empress and next to the Seven of Swords. Not sure how I said that. But, you're wondering. Look at this person, how concerned. Male or female. You're wondering about their cup of love. You're wondering if it's really, truly what it seems to be. Because you're looking at this cup right here that is not aglow. And you're thinking about that cup, which is aglow. So you're wondering, is it real? Is it true? Is it going to last? You're very concerned. So that's what I think is brewing. That's what I think is going to come up before you actually move forward with this person any further. I have the Three of Wands under the Judgment card. So the Three of Wands, this tells me that you had waited for your ship to come in. It feels like you are rewarded with your ship coming in because you've already been through a spiritual lesson, it feels like. And I feel like you're just using that lesson to move forward in life. So with the Three of Wands, look at the ships. I think your ship has finally come in. You're hanging on to a staff of fresh starts and new beginnings here. And I think this is your reward because it's right next to the Sun. And the Sun, I love this card. Okay, so the Sun is all about the fresh starts, the new beginnings with lots of love and lots of joy. Beautiful card. So this is beautiful energy here that's coming in on this ship. Well, I have the Hermit next to the Sun and under the Four Cups. You are seeking your path forward. You want to make sure you don't make any mistakes. I think you've made mistakes before, you learned your spiritual lesson from, and I think this Seven of Swords energy is really just something that you're trying to make sure you don't allow to happen again in your life. I think that's basically all that Seven of Swords is, because you're being very cautious and moving forward. So, the Hermit's here, the card for Virgo. Virgo might be strong in someone's chart around this reading. But it's very spiritual, and it's about seeking your path forward. So you want to make sure you're on the right path. You want to make sure you're accepting the right cup of love. Let's see what's in the second part of this reading. Yeah, see, there's the commitment that has got you so concerned. Let's take out the rest of the cards that we need for this reading, please. Sagittarius. Oops, I had it right. Okay. So, we have the Page of Pentacles right next to the Empress. Yes, you're trying to foresee the future. You are trying to make sure that they're grounded. You want to make sure that they are your future with the Page of Pentacles. You know, that you are really actually going to receive that pentacle. You have a pentacle to offer for sure. I have the Eight of Swords next to the Page of Pentacles. The Eight of Swords, I think you ignored it before. I think this is past energy. I think that the swords were all around you and you just kind of let things ride with the Seven of Swords. Because it's more swords. And I feel like you just were kind of ignored the Seven of Swords energy, and and hoping it would just go away on its own. But this is a card of illusion. It's like feeling trapped, but not being trapped. Okay? So it's kind of a card by choice here, the energy by choice. And another thing about the Page of Pentacles, that can be a very young energy where they're not really mature enough to be offering the pentacle, and that could have been what was happening in a past relationship, which you learned your spiritual lesson from. There were also breadcrumbing you. You have a lot to remember. You have a lot that you've learned a lesson on. So feeding the relationship just enough with the Six of Pentacles to keep the relationship afloat. And you kind of ignored all that. I have the Hierophant under the Page of Pentacles and next to the Four Cups. This is the card for Taurus. So Taurus might be strong in your chart or around this reading. But this Hierophant is very spiritual. It is about security, stability, traditional values, traditional morals. It's a very spiritual card for marriage. And, you're already in a committed relationship here. You're already starting to be seen as a couple, and it's starting to worry you. You might be making a mountain out of a molehill, but when you learn a spiritual lesson, you learn a spiritual lesson. And so that might be just all you're doing is trying to, dot your I's and cross your T's and make sure that this is the right person for you and that they have a lot of the same qualities you have so that you can move forward with them. Because you're thinking this is going to turn into marriage, and you want to make sure it's the right person for you. I have the Devil next to the Hierophant and right under the Eight of Swords. So you ignored toxic energy before, and I can see it all around, the spiritual lesson that you've been through. There might have even been a third party. Look at, there's three people in this card. And it prevented the relationship from becoming grounded, stable, and secure. This is the card for Capricorn, by the way. So Capricorn might be strong in someone's chart around this reading. Yes, it did. It prevented that Hierophant from coming in, So you see it all for what it is. And you're just doing everything you can to be sure about what you're doing. But I think you're going to speak up about it, and I think that's a really good idea in this reading. I have the Three of Cups next to the Devil and under the Six of Pentacles. This is like a happy reunion. This is celebration time. This person, okay, you felt someone came back into your life. They gave you hopes of all kinds of stuff, it looks like. You were very happy to have them in your life. Matter of fact, you probably loved them. And I think that they were being deceitful with you. I think because of where this Three of Cups is, it's between the Six of Pentacles, there's the Devil, the toxic energy with three people, there's three people here. I think they were just leading you on, leading you to believe until it finally fell apart and you saw it for what it was, because you had to come out of Eight of Swords energy in order to learn your spiritual lesson. I also have the Nine of Swords under the Hierophant next to the Hermit. So the Hermit saying, hey, you've been through it. You've been through it. You're seeking your path forward. Just remember all the lessons that you've learned. Remember all the swords of truth and clarity that have come to you before. And that's going to help you get through this. I have the Five of Wands next to the Nine of Swords and under the Devil card, the toxic energy. Yeah, you were stressed. You've got anxiety. You have confusion because it's just it feels muddled. It feels like a past experience and a present experience are playing tug of war in your head. And it's very stressful. And there's a lot of anxiety associated with that. And then we have the Queen of Wands on the other side of the Five of Wands and under the Three of Cups. So, it's like the Queen of Wands, this is you, Sagittarius, fire sign, being very self-confident, ready to move forward. You got your staff of fresh starts and new beginnings there. The most passionate card in the deck. Passion can get people into trouble, and that might be what happened. But I think that you have reunited with yourself. I think that you are done with your tug of wars. And I think that you're very mature now. You're very mature in your thinking and moving forward. And I think that's why you're going to have this conversation. So you did heal. You did come through it all, and you got back to being you. And it looks like you're in another relationship, but a prior one is kind of creeping in, and you're just going to have to reach out. You're going to have to speak up and kind of get your answers so that you can relax to move forward with this relationship. I don't see that they are being manipulative in any way. I think this is past energy. So Sagittarius, this is your reading. Thank you for watching Universal Guidance Tarot. And I want to thank my guardian angels and spirit guides for helping me deliver you this message.